Hello everyone, welcome to the ITLS Academy. Our today's lecture is on the topic irradiated foods. Okay, let's start with the lecture. So, the introduction says that the food irradiation is the process by which food, such as the fruits, vegetables, spices, and meats, is exposed to ionizing radiation to destroy microorganisms, bacteria, viruses, or insects that might be present in the food. It is a physical treatment that consists of exposing foods either pre-packed or in bulk to the direct action of the electromagnetic rays. When made to bombard against the materials, they can knock off an electron from an atom or molecule causing the ionization. And for this reason, these are often called as ionizing radiation. Food irradiation is a form of food preservation that prolongs shelf life, improve microbiologic safety, and reduce the use of chemical fumigants and additives. So, irradiation is a more general term of deliberate exposure of the material to the radiation to achieve a technical goal in the context of the ionizing radiation. So, food irradiation is the process of exposing food to ionizing radiation to destroy and check the multiplication of the microorganisms, bacteria, viruses, or insects that might be present in the food. So, further application includes the sprout inhibition, delay of ripening, and improvement of rehydration. The genuine effect of the processing of food by ionizing radiation involves the damage to the DNA, the basic genetic information of the life. So, microorganisms can no longer proliferate and continue their malignant or pathogenic activities. So, and also spoilage causing the microorganism cannot continue their activities. Insects do not survive or become incapable of proliferation, and plant ripening or aging process is delayed by radiation. So that is why the food irradiation is done in order to achieve the following process and to reduce the growth of the microorganism in the particular foods. Okay, in which principle is the irradiation depends? The energy employed in food irradiation technology is referred to as ionizing irradiation. Ionizing radiations occurs when one or more electrons are removed from an atom. The electrons orbiting at minimum energy level or ground state can be raised to higher level, becoming electronically excited or the excitation. If enough energy is transferred to an orbital electrons, the excited electrons may be ejected out of the from the atom or orbit, and that is called the ionization. So, the main sources of radiations includes the we generally use the cobalt 60 and the cesium 137, the radionuclide or radioactive materials that gives off ionizing gamma rays. Machine source of ionizing radiations includes the electron accelerator operated to at 10 megavolt or less, and X-ray generators operated at 7.5 megavolts or less. So, electronic beam or shallow penetration converted to X-rays for more penetration. This kind of source of is can be used for the radiation. Gamma rays is also used, and it is used for the deeper penetration, and all act via similar mechanism. Such as similar mechanism, I told you that they eject the electron out of the atom, so that cause the radiation. So dosimetry. Dosimetry is measuring the irradiation dose is known as the dosimetry. In irradiation processing of food, the doses are generally measured in kilograms, that is 1000 kilograms, and the it is divided into low dose application, medium dose application, and high dose applications. So, ionizing energy processes creates enough of an absorbed dose to destroy microbes. The units of absorbed dose in the food is, I told you, it is in measured in kilograms, and dose can be divided into three categories, that is the radicidation, radiorization, and radiopurgation. And in this The first one is the low dose application, that is the radicidation. What happens, it controls, that is the dose is generally less than 1 kilograms. So it controls the insect in the grains and fruits. It inhibits, this dose inhibits the sprouting in the tubers, and it also delays the ripening of some fruits and vegetables, and yes, reduce the problem of parasites in products of animal origin, and also provides the resistance of the growth of the microorganism from the growth of the microorganism. Next is the medium dose. That is the dose capacity lies between 1 kilograms to 10 kilograms, and this is known as radiorization process. It mainly controls the Salmonella, Shigella, Campylobacteria, Yersinia, Listeria, E. coli in meat, poultry, and fish, and delay mold growth on strawberries and other fruits. So, by this, it extends the shelf life and reduce microorganism level. Next is the high dose application, that is the dose is measured above the 10 kilograms, and this process is known as radiporization. It generally kills the microorganism and insect in this species, commercially sterilized food, destroying all the microorganisms of public health concern, and that is a special diet for people with weakened immune system. So it decontaminates certain food additives, example is spices, and yes, sterilize the all the food contents, analogous to the canning process. Now let's talk about the sources of radiation used in food irradiation. As I told you in the principal slide, that there are sources that we can use, the gamma rays and x-rays, electron beam. So gamma rays are emitted from radioactive forms of the element, that is the cobalt 60, or of the element cesium 137. Gamma radiation is used routinely to sterilize medical, dental, and household products, and is also used for the treatment of cancer. And do remind you that it is used for the deeper penetration, as gamma rays are the having the highest penetration power, so it can sterilize the material at deeper depth. X-rays are produced by reflecting a high energy stream of electrons of a target substance, usually one of the heavy metal, into the food. X-rays are also widely used in medicines and industry to produce images of the internal structures, and we all are aware about the X-rays film. Third one is the electron beam, the E-beam. Is similar to somewhat X-rays and is a stream of high energy electron propelled from an electron accelerated into the food. Next is the how does irradiation affects the food quality, and how does irradiation affects the food itself. So let me tell you that ionizing radiation also breaks some of the chemical bonds within the food itself. The effect of the chemical changes in the foods are varied, and some desirable and some are not, and some may occur some of the changes. And as we know, their food molecules are made up of water, lipid, protein, carbohydrates, and vitamins. The radiation energy generates a degradative reaction when it interacts with food, and it causes the radiolysis. So changes in the structure of certain foods to fragile to withstand the irradiation. For example, lettuce and other leafy vegetables turn mushy. Slowed ripening and maturation in certain fruit and vegetable lengthens the shelf life. The reduction or destruction of some nutrients such as the vitamins reduces the nutritional value, and the effect is comparable to loss of heat pasteurization. Alteration of some flavored compounds occurs. Formation of compounds that were not originally present requires the strict control of the radiation level, and also the generation of free radicals, some of which recombine with the other ions. So these effects are the result of radiolysis. Whether the product of radiolysis in food are all innocent from the human health perspective is still debated. However, years of experience in food irradiation has not demonstrated any identifiable health problem. So radiation energy generates a degradative reactions as I told you, how it causes and how the radiolysis occurs. Products of radiolysis is known as radiolytic product, and irradiation cause changes to the food molecules, particularly at high doses, and sterilization level causes the nutrient loss of desirable effect. And the effect of food irradiation on food quality, if we talk about the presence of water in food, the radiolysis of water molecule produces the hydroxyl radicals, and it is highly reactive species that can cause the characteristic associated with the food spoilage. Example, off flavor, we sometimes we get the off flavor or off odor from the food material. And in order to minimize this effect, we have to apply the lowest effective radiation dose irradiated at lower temperature, and choose the appropriate packaging in terms of moisture and oxygen barrier properties. Next is the effect, that is the lipid molecules are, I told you that it is present in the food material. And what happened to this, the absence of oxygen leads to cleavage of interatomic bonds, and it producing compounds, example carbon dioxide, alkanes, alkenes and aldehydes. And the presence of oxygen, lipids are highly vulnerable to oxidation by free radicals, a process that yields peroxide, carbonyl compound and alcohol. So rancidity occurs at for high unsaturated fatty acids, and in order to minimize the effect of the lipids, the vacuum packaged and low temperature are used during the irradiation. And adding lipid soluble antioxidant and use lowest irradiation dose could be used to sort out the problem of the irradiation, so that the lipid molecule cannot be affected by the irradiation process. Next, what is present in this? The proteins. Proteins are not significantly degraded at low doses of irradiation and does not inactivate enzymes involved in food deterioration. So most enzymes survive higher doses. Biological value of the protein remains high and availability of essential amino acid is not compromised. Next is your carbohydrate. As we know, carbohydrate is generally composed of CHO molecule. So large CHO molecules are broken down by the irradiation, and this depolymerization reduces the gelling and functional properties such as the starches and gums, and production by other food constituent effect on simple sugar is negligible. Lastly, what is present in the food is the vitamins. How it is affected? They have a varying degree on sensitivity. Some shows the sensitivity at higher doses. Example, vitamin A, C, E and B1 shows sensitivity at higher doses of irradiation. So sensitivity is apparent in food packaged under the air. Now these are the molecules that are affected, and how the food qualities are affected due to these components of the food. Next is the effects of irradiation on microorganisms. The irradiation affects to the microorganism in two ways. The first one is the indirect and the second one is the direct. So what happens in indirect effect? Due to the formation of free radical, as I told you that radiolysis occurs in the food, and due to which the free radicals form. So due to formation of free radicals during radiolysis of water molecule, the free radicals are highly reactive and form a stable product. So combined with one another or oxygen molecule, that forms the oxidizing agent, and this can damage bacterial cell component, and unstable free radicals react with the bacterial cell membranes to change or damage their structure, and that causes the bacterial death. The next effect is the direct effect. When the ionizing radiation kills the microbes by damaging the biomolecule of their cell, the incoming photon hit the electrons in the atom of the microbes or the food molecules, and during this the collision, the photon energy is transferred to the electron, changing the photon direction, and electron free to collide with the neighboring electrons. This causes the chemical bonds breakage and interrupt the normal cell metabolism and division. So this is the process how the irradiation preserves the food, how it effective to the microbes that are present in the food, and how what is the mode of action that is taken by the microbes directly and indirectly to get killed by the irradiation process. Next is the irradiation is most useful in four areas, that is the sterilization, preservation, control sprouting, ripening and insect damage, and control of food pathogens. So these are the areas, these are the, we can say, the advantage, or we can take it in the benefits of the irradiation, why it is used to why we go for the irradiation of the food, and why it is done, and why it is useful, how it is useful. So talking about the first one, as the we can say the pathogen reduction. What happens in this? It generates a short-lived and transient radicals. Example, the hydroxy radical, the hydrogen atom and solvated electrons, that in turn damage the bonds of the DNA molecule, causing the disruption in the genetic makeup of the microbes beyond its ability to repair. And the target organism seizes all the process of maturation and reproduction. So control of food pathogen is done by irradiation and can be used to effectively eliminate those pathogens that cause the foodborne illness such as salmonella. And yes, control of sprouting, ripening and insect damage. In this role, the irradiation offers an alternative to chemicals for the use with the potatoes, tropical and citrus fruits, grains, spices and seasonings. So, however, since no residue is left in the food, irradiation does not protect against infestation like insect sprays and fumigants do. Next, next is the insect disinfection. The irradiation of species, herbs and spices, herbs and dry vegetable seasonings. It is an alternative to the use of chemicals or fumigants such as ethylene oxide and methyl bromide. Moreover, unlike chemicals, irradiation does not leave any residual that can lead to infestation. It expands the shelf life. Shelf life extension occurs by the irradiation. Low doses of irradiation, that is up to 1 kilograms, can prolong the shelf life or may fruit of many fruits and vegetables. For example, irradiating strawberries extends their refrigerated shelf life to up to, we can say, 3 weeks without decaying or shrinkage, on versus 3 to 5 days for untreated berries. So, moreover, irradiation also causes a delay in sprouting and ripening, adding to the shelf life. Next is the sterilization. Irradiation can also be used to sterilize food. Foods that are sterilized by irradiation can be stored for years without refrigeration, just like canned items, canned foods. And with this irradiation, it will be possible to develop new shelf stable product, and it is a cold sterilization. So, sterilization of food are used in hospitals for patients with the several impaired immune systems, such as patient with AIDS or undergoing chemotherapy. Next is your next we can say it is also helpful in the for the protection of the meat and poultry. If the treating raw meat and poultry at slaughtered plant with high dose of irradiation can cause the elimination of E. coli, salmonella and campylobacteria. Irradiation of animal feeds could also prevent the spread of salmonella and other pathogens to livestock through the feeds. Next is helpful in the preservation. Irradiation can be used to destroy or inactivate the organism that cause the spoilage, decomposition, thereby extending the shelf life of the food. It is an energy efficient food preservation method that has a several advantage over the traditional canning. The result of the products are closer to the fresh state in the texture, flavor and color, and using this irradiation to preserve food requires no additional liquid, nor does it cause loss of natural juice. Both large and small containers can be used, and food can be irradiated after being packed or even after it is freezed. So, unlike canning, using irradiation to preserve food requires no additional liquid or no, and yes, the natural juice occurs in the natural form only, and destruction of microbes or any other living cells food makes it spoilage and decomposition free. So here are the useful areas and some of the benefits of using the irradiation for the food preservation. Next is the advantages and disadvantages. The main advantages of food irradiation is it is a little or no heating of food, means that food is preserved without heating it, means after, due to sorry by the cold sterilization technique, and can treat packaged or frozen foods. Even if the food is packed, it can also be sterilized by passing the radiations through the package. No chemicals used for the preservation of the fresh fruit, and low energy required, comparable change in nutritional value, and high automation. So these are the advantage that after even the packaging, the food is preserved and it could be easily sterilized, and yes, it requires and it is less laborious, and low energy requirement is there, and no chemicals are used for the preservation of the fresh food. But along with the advantages, there are some disadvantages of the food irradiation also, that planting an irradiation machine is of high capital cost, possible development of resistant mutant, inadequate analytical procedures to detect irradiation in food, and it is also for public resistance. Here are the foods that are currently irradiated, that is the potatoes, flour, spices, tea, fruits and vegetables, and wheat. And according to PFA, list of approved food items for irradiation have been discussed here for the onion, spices, potatoes, rice, semolina, mango, raisins, figs, dried dates, ginger, garlic, shallots, meat and meat products, including fresh seafoods, frozen seafoods, dry seafood, pulses. So here are the doses that is being required for the preservation of the food items, and these doses are up to kilograms in minimum, maximum, and overall average radiations, that up to which dose they should be given to the food item so that it could be preserved safely and shelf life can be extended and could not harm to the human beings. Thank you for being with us. I hope you have understood all the irradiation technologies and all the irradiated food based concept. For more information, please log on to our website www.itlsacademy.com, and yes, do follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, LinkedIn, and yes, do not forget to follow us and subscribe our channel at ITLS Academy at YouTube. Thank you for being with us.